Welcome back to Urban X-Files. Today's ghost story takes us to another haunted road, this time away from Scotland, to the other side of the country, in Wales. This is the haunting of the A541. The A541 in Wales is another one of those strange roads where all kinds of appearances and phantasms appear, as we mentioned in the previous story. Yet this stretch of road looks like every other highway in our place, in our country. Now, there have been plenty of car accidents ranging from minor bumps to colossal loss, huge fatalities and destruction of families in these vehicles over the years. And some of these sightings have no explanations, and the most frequent ones I will now relay. You're driving along the A541 and you are near to the infamously famous haunted Plasteg estate. You do not believe in ghosts and spectres and all things of the paranormal, so you have no fear. This guy was driving along and it was getting late one night. It was past 8 p.m. It was a cold and wintry night. This adds to the atmosphere. The moon was quite bright that night and lit up the roads. As you're driving, you see in front of you a person dart across the road. And as you drive closer, this person darts back and you see this is a young woman. The woman is dressed in all black. So the driver was thinking, why on earth would a woman be dressed in black in the dead of night running across the road? Surely she has a death wish. And as he got closer, she was wearing what could be described as Victorian style dress. Very old-fashioned, with a black hat to go with her outfit. Not what you expect to see on the road in this decade, in the years past 2000. Now, for a moment, you question, what is this? And then you think to yourself, no, surely it can't be a ghost. There's no such things as ghosts. Until this figure steps right in front of your vehicle. You slam on the brakes, expecting to smash into this poor, obviously crazy woman. Now, she looks you in the eyes as your vehicle is traveling fast towards her. And then you realize there is no way you are going to be able to stop in time to not hit this woman. You are terrified at the thought of hitting this poor woman. You feel you just went right through this person. You pull over in a fit of tears and fear that you've now murdered someone accidentally. How are you going to explain this? What would you say? You would say a Victorian looking woman dressed in black was running across the road. How? I don't understand. So the driver gets out of the vehicle in a panic and he gets his light and he's searching across his vehicle. Yet there are no signs of any impact. But you've seen this woman and you know you hit and went right through this person. There is nothing underneath the vehicle. There are no marks, no impact. Surely the force of driving 50 plus mile an hour would cause some damage to the car or lorry, whatever it was. This gentleman was stuck and he couldn't get the image of this woman out of his mind. He searched all around the vicinity. He shouted and There was nothing. So you got back into your car as you're sat there reliving this moment and moment over again. And after 20 minutes, you step back out of your vehicle for one last look. Nothing. So this driver steps back into his truck and drove to the nearest police station, which is a really decent thing to do. So the man, in floods of tears, enters the police station, and he tells the police exactly what has happened. Now, the police obviously have to take this seriously, so they went and had a search, just in case something had happened. They took the driver back to the station, and they tested him to see if he'd been drinking. He come back, it's completely clear. And the sergeant comes down and he sits the driver into one of the questioning rooms, and he says, "Sir, I do not know how to tell you this, but you may laugh, you may question, you may call me insane, but the person you ran over is not the first time she's been hit by a truck." The driver sits and stares open-mouthed at the police officer as if to say, "What are you talking about?" He says this has been reported multiple times, and this is the ghost of Dorothy Trevor. And that incident that you described has happened repeatedly in this area of Plasteg for many, many years. And unfortunately, this person, this ghost, has caused many accidents, some fatal in themselves. Now, the local newspaper, it turns out, have received many different calls from people who are convinced beyond the shadow of doubt that they have run over a person upon the A541. Strange. Now, the A51 is the Plasteg estate, which translates into English is the Fair Mansion, and this house, the Fair Mansion house, lies near the A541, and it is the site of the most accidents related to ghostly sightings. And this very old, very imposing mansion was built in 1600s. It was built by Sir John Trevor. As with most buildings of that age, it has a strong reputation as being very haunted. Its grand staircase is believed to have been built from an old Spanish ship. There is a notorious hanging judge once held court there. And there are plenty of pentagram markings in the fireplace that no doubt contribute to these strange sightings and apparitions which appear both in and around the mansion. Locals too are aware of the fact that there are many ghosts who lay claim to this piece of land, often wander over the A541 and seem to cause plenty of car wrecks. One of these wandering spirits is believed to be that of a young Dorothy Trevor, the daughter of Lord Trevor, who built the mansion. Young Dorothy is said to have fell in love with the son of a local peasant farmer, and this at the time was unacceptable behaviour for a noble person to be seen with peasants. Now, needless to say, Dorothy's family voiced this strong disapproval of their beautiful daughter spending any time with a peasant boy. Now, Dorothy and her young love responded by making romantic plans to elope so they could spend their lives together outside of their meddling families. Dorothy had took her treasures and jewels and buried them near a well, and on the night she and her so-called lover were said to elope, she went to retrieve the jewels. She lost her footing and somehow plummeted into a watery grave at the bottom of a well. Her fiancé arrived, and when he could not find her, he thought he'd been stood up. And he was heartbroken and distraught, and he was certain he could not live without his love of his life. So this poor man hung himself right near the mansion house. The ghosts are said to still be around this area, possibly looking for each other, spending eternity searching the A541. However, the repeated sightings do seem to indicate that they still, to this day, are yet to have found each other. So, should you find yourself on the stretch of road called the A541, be on the lookout for a young Victorian ghost. Possibly even earlier than Victorian, some far back period. We can't say 100% because nobody's ever actually found the ghost to question the ghost. So till we find that person who can find the ghost, question the ghost, we won't know. These are just people's theories, with some history there to sort of give credence to the story. After all, if you're not careful, you don't want to become another ghost that haunts the A541. And also, on a final note, there are many people who've reported seeing white shapes that rise from the road right in front of their eyes. Who knows what these entities are? Are these some sort of evil entities that distract drivers through hope they crash their cars to claim their souls? Or are these angels who appear to make the driver more aware of concentrating on the road for fear of them losing their lives in another car accident? Who knows? I hope you enjoyed this strange tale of a haunted road in Wales. If so, smash the like button, take care, and see you in the next video. Peace.